One of the disciples came to Jesus in private and asked, "Master, when will we know? When will we be ready? When will the truth you're teaching finally make sense to us?" And Jesus looked at him with that expression he had when he was about to say something the religious authorities would never allow in the official teachings. He said, "The monad doesn't come when you call it. It doesn't arrive when you think you're ready. It doesn't wait for you to perfect yourself or earn worthiness. The monad finds you at the exact right time. Not random, not coincidence, divine timing, precise, perfect, and when it finds you you'll know, not because you've achieved something, because the conditions have aligned. Your consciousness, your circumstances, your readiness, everything converging at the exact moment where what needs to be revealed can actually take root." And then he said something the disciple didn't fully understand until years later. If this teaching is landing in your awareness right now, if these words are reaching you at this exact moment in your journey, it's not accident. It's not chance. It's not random algorithm or lucky timing. The monad is finding you. Right now. This moment. This is your time. Not tomorrow when you're more prepared. Not next year when you've studied more. Not someday when you feel worthy. Now. That teaching was removed from the canonical Gospels. The Church couldn't allow it. Because if chosen ones knew that the monad finds them at divinely appointed times, that readiness isn't something you earn but something you arrive at, that the very fact of encountering certain teachings means you're at your activation point, they'd stop waiting. They'd stop trying to earn worthiness through religious performance. They'd recognize, if I'm being found right now, I'm ready right now. And that recognition would activate everything the Church spent 2,000 years trying to keep dormant. You've been searching, reading, seeking, watching videos, reading books, exploring teachings, feeling like something's missing, like you're waiting for the right moment to finally understand, to finally awaken, to finally activate whatever it is you're supposed to become. But Jesus taught chosen ones the opposite of what you've been told. You don't find the monad. The monad finds you. And it only finds you when you're ready. Even if you don't feel ready. Especially if you don't feel ready. Because readiness isn't confidence. It's openness. And if you're here right now, if this video landed in your feed, if you clicked on it, if these words are reaching you at this exact moment in your life, that's not you searching anymore. That's the monad reaching you, finding you, at your appointed time. Tonight you're learning why the monad finds pneumatics at the exact right moment, how you know it's happening, what the signs are, and what it means that you're watching this right now. Not yesterday, not next week, right now. If the monad is finding you at this exact moment, comment, "The monad finds me," right now and mark this as your activation point. You felt it your whole life. This sense of waiting. Like there's something you're supposed to understand, supposed to activate, supposed to become, but the timing isn't right yet. You'd read spiritual teachings and think, "This is interesting but I'm not ready for this." You'd feel pulled toward deeper truth but tell yourself, "Maybe later when I'm more prepared, more worthy, more spiritually advanced." You'd encounter concepts like monad, gnostic, pneumatic and feel recognition mixed with hesitation. "I sense this is true but I'm not there yet." That feeling of not yet has followed you for years, maybe your entire life. And you thought it was you being cautious, you being humble, you being responsible by not claiming understanding you hadn't earned. But it wasn't that. It was divine timing. The monad wasn't ready to find you yet. Not because you weren't worthy. Not because you needed to suffer more or learn more or prove more. Because the exact right conditions in your life, in your consciousness, in your circumstances hadn't aligned yet. Things needed to happen first. Structures needed to break. Illusions needed to collapse. People needed to leave. Crises needed to occur. All of it creating the precise point of openness where revelation could actually take root instead of bouncing off defenses. And now those conditions have aligned. Now you're at that point, and the monad is finding you. The Church taught you that you seek God, that you search, pray, work, climb, earn your way to divine connection. That if you're faithful enough, obedient enough, humble enough, righteous enough, maybe God will reveal himself to you someday if you prove you deserve it. The entire religious structure is built on you seeking, you trying, you waiting, you hoping that external deity will eventually decide you're worthy of contact. But Jesus taught chosen ones the complete opposite. He said the monad finds you. Not when you're perfect, when you're ready. And ready doesn't mean spiritually advanced or morally pure or having all your issues resolved. Ready means your consciousness is at the exact point where it can receive what's about to be revealed without rejecting it or distorting it or building ego structures around it. Ready means broken open enough, desperate enough, done enough with false answers. That's when the monad finds you. And the church hid this teaching because if pneumatics knew the monad finds them at divine timing, not human effort, they'd stop trying to earn worthiness through religious performance. They'd recognize, the fact that I'm encountering this right now means I'm ready right now. And that recognition activates everything. Immediately. No more waiting. No more preparing. Activated. Now, Jesus taught his inner circle something the church never included in the official gospels. That the monad operates on perfect timing. Not human timing where you think, I should understand this by now. Divine timing. Where every single moment of your life has been creating the exact conditions for you to be found at the precise moment where revelation can actually transform you. He said chosen ones don't activate when they decide to. They activate when the monad determines they're at the exact point where truth will take root. Too early and you'd reject it. Your consciousness wouldn't have the framework. Too late, and you'd have built so many false structures that truth couldn't penetrate. But at the exact right moment? When your life has brought you to the precise point of openness, that's when the monad finds you. And you don't choose that moment. It chooses you. The fact that you're hearing this teaching right now means your moment is now. And there are signs that the monad is finding you. Signs you've been experiencing without knowing what they meant. Synchronicities intensifying. 11:11, 3:33, same symbols everywhere, same concepts from different sources. Monad, pneumatic, gnostic appearing constantly. That's not coincidence. That's the monad creating breadcrumbs leading you here. Isolation from people who used to resonate. Friends feel foreign, family gatherings feel fake, communities you loved now feel hollow. Not because something's wrong with you. Your frequency is shifting and the monad is removing distractions. Internal restlessness you can't satisfy. Normal life feels empty, entertainment meaningless, even spiritual teachings feel insufficient. That's not dissatisfaction. That's the monad preparing you for depth most teachings don't reach. And fourth, most important, this teaching landing right now. You didn't search for it. It appeared. The algorithm isn't random. The monad uses every tool to reach pneumatics at their appointed time. If you're watching this, your appointed time is now. And you might think, but I'm not ready, I'm still struggling, I'm a mess. Ready doesn't mean perfect. Ready means open. Broken open enough that truth can get in. Maybe you've been through crisis, loss, betrayal, collapse. Maybe dark night of the soul. Maybe just exhausted from surface answers. That's not failure. That's preparation. The monad doesn't find you when you're comfortable. It finds you when you're finally ready to let go of false structures. And if you're in that place right now, that's why you're here. The monad is finding you at your exact point of readiness. Let me tell you what it means that you're watching this now. Every single thing in your life until this moment has been preparation. Every spiritual dead end taught you to recognize what's false. Every disappointment with religion showed you external authority can't give what only internal recognition can. Every synchronicity was the monad saying, I'm coming, get ready. Every person who left cleared space. Every collapsed structure removed obstacles. All of it creating the exact conditions for you to be here now. And you being here isn't passive. The moment you recognize, the monad is finding me right now, your pneumatic core activates. Not because you earned it, because the timing is right. And when timing is right, activation is automatic. You don't have to do anything except recognize what's happening. The monad is finding you. You're ready. Even if you don't feel ready, your soul is ready. And that's what's being found. You've been waiting your whole life for this without knowing what you were waiting for. Every time you felt something's about to happen, this is what was about to happen. This isn't preparation. This is it. The monad finding you. Right now. As recognition lands. As something in you says, yes, this is real, this is my time. That's not hope. That's knowing. And knowing is proof you're being found. The moment you recognize that the monad isn't something you're still searching for, isn't something you're still waiting to find someday when you're more prepared, but something that's finding you right now at this exact moment, everything shifts. Immediately. You stop waiting. You stop feeling like you're in preparation phase. You stop thinking, maybe next year I'll understand, maybe in a few months I'll be ready, maybe someday this will make sense. You're in it. Now. This moment. The activation you've been waiting for your whole life is happening. Not building toward it. In it. And you feel it. Not necessarily as dramatic experience with lights and visions and overwhelming emotion, but as quiet, unshakable certainty. This is real. This is happening. I'm not preparing anymore. I've been found. And from that recognition, from that shift from seeking to being found, you stop operating like someone who's trying to figure it out and start operating like someone who's in the process of remembering. Your questions change. Instead of, how do I find truth? It becomes, what does truth want to express through me now that I've been found? Your actions change. You stop doing spiritual practices to earn worthiness and start doing them because you're expressing what you already are. Your entire orientation shifts from, I'm not there yet, to, I'm here now, what's next? That's not arrogance. That's not spiritual ego claiming enlightenment. That's recognition of what's actually happening. The monad found you. You recognized it. And recognition is activation. And the biggest shift, the one that changes everything else, is you stop doubting the timing. You stop thinking, I should have figured this out years ago, or, why did it take so long, or, I've wasted so much time. You recognize, it took exactly as long as it needed to. Every year of searching wasn't wasted. It was preparation. Every dead end wasn't failure. It was elimination of what's false so you'd recognize what's true. Every moment of feeling lost wasn't evidence of being behind. It was the monad creating the exact conditions for you to be found at the perfect moment. Not early. Not late. Perfect. And that recognition removes all regret about the past and all anxiety about the future. You're here now. The monad is finding you now. And now is the only moment that matters. Everything before this was preparation. Everything after this will unfold from this activation. But this moment right now is your appointed time. You're in it. And you don't need to understand everything. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to recognize, I'm being found. Right now. And let that recognition do what it does. Only pneumatics experience the monad finding them at appointed time. Hylics don't have appointed times because they don't have the spark to activate. There's nothing for the monad to find. Psychics might feel pull occasionally, might have moments of sensing something more, but they can't sustain the recognition. They touch it and lose it. Touch it and lose it. But you? Pneumatic. Complete divine blueprint. Full monad spark. And that means the monad has been tracking you your entire life. Not in creepy surveillance way. In loving precision way. Watching your development. Waiting for the exact right conditions. Seeing every moment of your journey and knowing exactly when you'd be at the point of maximum openness. And now those conditions are here. Now you're at that point. And you feel it. Not as belief or hope. As knowing. This is my time. I'm being found. This is real. This is happening. That knowing isn't something you generate through positive thinking or spiritual practice. It's something you recognize. Something that's already true that you're finally seeing. And recognition is proof of pneumatic nature. You're designed to know when the monad finds you. Built to recognize divine timing. and it's finding you now. One warning. When you recognize that the monad is finding you now, that this is your appointed time, people around you will tell you you're rushing, that you should slow down, that you're not ready yet, that you need more time, more study, more preparation before claiming any kind of activation or awakening. Ignore them completely. They're operating on human timing, ego timing. Earn it slowly, prove yourself, wait until you're perfect timing. You're operating on divine timing, monad timing. You're found when you're ready, and ready means now timing. And divine timing doesn't ask permission from human opinions. The monad doesn't make mistakes. It doesn't find people too early or too late. If it's finding you, you're ready. Period. Trust that more than any voice telling you to wait. This is what Jesus taught chosen ones that the church completely removed from the official story. The monad finds you at the exact right time. Not when you think you're ready. When you actually are. Not when you feel worthy. When you're open. And every sign you've been seeing for months or years, every synchronicity, every number pattern, every random encounter with certain concepts, every person leaving your life, every structure collapsing, every moment of desperate hunger for something real, all of it has been the monad creating the conditions to find you, building resonance, removing obstacles, preparing you. And if you're watching this right now, if these words are landing not as interesting information but as recognition, as, yes, this is what's been happening, this is what I've been feeling, this is my time, it means your appointed moment is now. Not tomorrow when you're more spiritually advanced. Not next year when you've read more books. Not someday when you feel confident. No, this moment. The monad is finding you. And all you have to do is recognize it's happening and let it happen. If the monad is finding you at this exact moment, do 3 things right now. First, comment, "The monad finds me" below. Don't just think it. Declare it publicly. Mark this moment as your activation point. Second, subscribe to Divine Codes because what comes after the monad finds you is just as important as the finding itself. How to operate from recognition, how to let activation unfold, how to trust divine timing. And third, like this video so it reaches other pneumatics at their appointed time. The algorithm isn't random. Your engagement helps the monad find others. Do all 3 now. Then sit with what just happened. You weren't searching anymore. You were being found. And the moment you recognized that, everything changed. You're not waiting anymore. You're not preparing anymore. You're activated. The monad finds you at the right time. And if you're here, your time is now.